Consulate with NIP starting out on attack. Chaos on the defense. Chaos, as a result, will get the first ban here on Consulate, and they will choose to eliminate Nomad, which has been a constant trend throughout this series so far.
Just another map that she's very good on, and again, both of these teams in their own right can be extremely aggressive on defense, so taking away a little bit of that hop out potential, very good. You know, it's going to allow these teams to do exactly what they want on the defensive side of things. So eliminating her, and then Dokkaebi going to be taken away by Nip, which they recognize that as a catalyst for aggression from Chaos on their offensive side. Do not want them to have any more free information.
Got them quite a few entry kills when it came to their capability to push into sites back on coastline, and I think that's what they're going to have to try and deal with. NIP is going to knock out Echo next. We've seen that left in a few times throughout the course of today. They do not want to mess with that on Consulate, due to how chaotic the play can already be from round to round here due to how old the map is. Then Valkyrie as well, being the final ban, aligns pretty well. We've seen how powerful Valkyrie can be for predicting the pushes from our attackers. So again, that'll be taken out from the pool.
Okay, guys, well, as we launch this map, it's Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Chaos for our last match of the day here on Consulate. So, as Ninjas in Pyjamas for the third time starts on the offense to see exactly what their idea is going to be about taking this map. For everyone, it's just a slight bit different. Standard is going to be taking admin office and pushing straight across. So lobby actually going to be the first site locked in for the defense, which is not something that you see every day.
You've been seeing it more at this event, though. I think this is like this. It might have been Chaos, to be fair, the last time I saw it, but I've seen at least one other team, if not Chaos, to try this here, where they started out on a bit of a killer site. If not going directly for lobby, they choose it as like their second site if you're doing basement or second floor. So it's interesting. It seems teams are, at the very minimum, a little bit more comfortable with playing into this site now.
Yeah, Thermite really not going to have an impact here unless they're going to use him to try and establish an angle upstairs. If they reinforce above the admin stairs, then that single panel that's inside of the administration office or any of those, they might be able to push the back end as well over on the north end side and open up the back of bathroom. That happens sometimes, but more often than not, it is going to be a full-on lobby take from that front door after they've relieved the pressure upstairs. That's going to be what Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to attempt to do. Obviously, it's going to be Chaos's job to stop them, but they've adopted quite a few ACOGs, or at least 2 of them, as well as some Nitro Cells in the hands of Red Groove and secretly in the Pulse and Mute, respectively.
Okay, so let's move into it now, folks, and see what exactly Nip's going to bring to the table this time. Their attack never really the sorts of problems. It was their defense that ultimately caused them to lose the map back over on coastline, and more importantly, the over-aggression, in my opinion, that we're seeing there is a big part of it, along with, of course, the adjustments from Chaos, making some really good changes up to the way that they were playing. The Dokkaebi being brought into, which has now been knocked out in the ban phase here, so they won't be able to rely on that as much. But, of course, Consulate still plays into itself relatively differently than what we saw on coastline, so things could change up pretty drastically as a result of that too. However, with both the first maps being relatively close, I would expect nothing different from Consulate for our third and final map.
Well, as we've seen from Chaos, they have been pretty good on defense so far over the last 2 maps. Granted, they did not do too hot on Clubhouse and some of the sites, only winning basement and CCTV, but on this map in particular, there's 3 sites. They're actually pretty darn good. They're going to go to the one that's more or less off. Usually it's basement or upstairs that you start first, but again, they are going to go to lobby, and Fido's actually going to end up finding Muzi on rappel. Not an angle you see too often, so Muzi not too ready for that.
Following that one up now. Got Psycho trying to play into the balcony window. At the same time, Julio also looking at a site window. They've got a hard thing onto one player. They've got it firmed in the back for certain, but it's not mattering. Again, early kills seem to all be going the way of Chaos, except for Kamikaze's pick up Vitaline, getting himself a double against both Kamikaze and Julio. Great stand-up play for the inside of the lobby here. He'll drop that down to the basement, head back upstairs to play into the lobby one final time. We're left with only 1 player standing on NIP. It's going to be the Twitch, played by Psycho. And there we go, it's just been spotted. Secretly, he's going to look for an opportunity, look for some soft ground to take it out, but it won't even be needed. Actually, no, it will. Psycho picks up the first kill against Vitaline. A good start there. Psycho toss up from down below to try to find him, but no. Psycho still stays alive in the 1v3 with 50 seconds left to clutch this.
Plenty of time on the clock for him to do something. He does have Diffuser, but usually you're going to have that Pulse underneath watching him, and that's exactly what you're going to have in the hands of Secretly once again, as he will be playing downstairs, and he just gets to ping for free and follow this man on parallel floors here. smoke grenade will come out, and Renewals is doing his best to delay time. And Renewals with a little bit of a drop shot. I haven't seen one of those in a while, but it's going to work out for him anyways. Psycho will fall for NIP, and Chaos continues to find rounds.
So Chaos starting off well here. NIP unfortunately falling victim mainly due to the great Maestro play that we were seeing there from NIP, or excuse me, from Chaos. Some heads-up play to stop the window play, and then a drop down quickly into the lobby to pick up a second kill with some nice pickups there that we ended up seeing from the players over on Chaos in order to leverage their first round victory into their favor. Now they'll look to build on this, again, the streak and the momentum swing, which is something I like to talk about a lot in casting too, generally is going to swing into their favor. Now, you recount the 5 rounds they managed to pick up in a row back on Coastline, and now they're starting off strong here. This is new territory for NIP, as they haven't really had to deal with too much of an early game struggle up until this third map.
Everyone in the crowd here in Las Vegas, one of our long-lost friends in the casting community, is currently in the building. Can we give a round of applause for Enzo, please? He's back, he's healthy, he's going to be casting Pro League once again, and we're so happy to have that beautiful man back. I can't wait to hear him cast. Very, very excited to see that. But nonetheless, we still have a map to finish up between NIP and Chaos. Things are going to be a little bit revitalized as my vocal cords have somewhat found new strength, and we have another one of our casting brethren here. So actually going to have the split site adopted by Chaos. So we're going to all of the non-traditional things first, just trying to throw NIP for a loop.
Yeah, we talked about how there could be, you know, like a bar play, for instance, on a Clubhouse, but it seems we're getting the non-traditional sites over here on Consulate instead, which is I'm not opposed to this. Get them out of the way first. If you've got a momentum swing going into your favor and you think you can confidently win these sites, throw them in there. Why not? You still have your other good sites to play into as well, and most notably, it's going to put NIP in a bit of an awkward situation. These are still relatively unplayed sites in comparison to all the other ones, so NIP, just by virtue of that, is going to be a little bit less familiar with how to play into this and will have less experience on it.
This site has been around for a little while now. A lot of people obviously understand how this site is held. You kind of have to hold it above and below. You got to sandwich the site. Traditionally speaking, you're going to have one person on site to kind of keep anything crazy from happening, like a rush into tellers from the main office area or anything along those lines. But despite that fact, you're more than likely going to have 2 people upstairs, 2 people down, the 2 people downstairs going to have nitro cells, the 2 people up going to have some guns that they can have some fun with. More than likely, you're going to have the mirrors dedicated upstairs, and that's exactly what Chaos is going to do, dedicating 1 upstairs and 1 downstairs to the blue hallway.
Off of that, obviously, things are going to go a little bit quiet now. NIP, of course, starting things out with Uzi trying to get a little bit of pressure onto the inside from that rappel, using these Zofia nades in order to accomplish that, but no one really pushing the issue just yet. NIP remaining a lot quieter than we've seen in previous rounds. It still aligns to their overall play. Like I said, they've already shown multiple times to be a team with kind of a slow build up here. Unfortunately, building up towards anything significant as far as we can point out here early on. Still just posturing up, hoping to be able to take out one of the members of Chaos early on, and not really being able to find much from that. Got a few players with access to the upstairs part of the site, into the copy room and whatnot. Psycho, though, is finally going to be able to strike first, knocking out Renewals. And I believe a second player getting dropped too, but it's Psycho this time. Vitaline, once again, picking up the frag from that Maestro.
These two going back and forth across multiple maps, and that's going to continue here as Vitaline does find that frag onto the Psycho. So, Ninjas in Pyjamas still trying to gain a little bit of ground here as things really haven't been working out for him. That downstairs site locked like a vault, at least for Archives. They do have the top floor completely open, but Red Groove has rotated all the way downstairs. He's currently playing the Archive stairs, so the Nitro Cell could come up massive, especially trying to stop the plant. So they're going to have Crips playing off the hallway as well, and Vitaline still trying to work as much information as he can get out of those Evil Eye cams. NIP is going to have to try and get a defuse plant down here pretty soon, but secretly in Crips, both finding frags, and Muzi with the refrag as things are starting to equalize out, but Chaos still on top, and it's going to happen all over again. Crips finds yet another. Julio, though, with the refrags. It's all left up to Julio to try and find 2 or get this diffuser down. He's going to try and find these 2 downstairs, but with only 3 seconds left, he's not going to find a soul.
Nothing is going to happen. Of course, he tries to pick up something with Illusion there at the end. Just a cry of desperation, it seems, as Chaos hit the ground running. 2 starting rounds in their favor, and they're on the non-traditional sites. It's on Lobby and Archives to start off, which is very, very odd to the folks who are regular viewers of Pro League. the rest of Rainbow Six's tournament circuit.
Well, if you want to pull something out of a bag right now, just that's completely random, try and throw off your opponent, because this is where it all matters. It's down to one. You are equalized. Whoever wins this goes on, gets more money, gets more prowess. I mean, everything that comes along with winning in a quarterfinal. And honestly, that seems to be the trick here for Chaos. Play the two sides that are the least expected to come out at the start. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't bring out Split as the first site, then move to lobby, then go upstairs or downstairs or what have you. But we're going to have to see what Chaos will choose as their third site, as they've won both off sites. It's actually going to be a basement. So they're completely avoiding upstairs console office.
It's two completely different sides of a story when you look at the teams right now behind us and down below on the stage. A lot of excitement for Chaos. Pretty happy results overall when you look at all 5 of the players, especially their coach too. Seems very content with the current situation. NIP looked a little flustered, a little frustrated with what's currently unfolding. They, in the past, in the last 2 maps, have had no problem on their attacking side making aggressive moves like they've been trying to do, but all of a sudden it's just not working anymore. Chaos is hard locking, and it's on these very odd sites. So NIP, the consensus amongst them can't be good right now about how they're feeling about the rest of this half. They need to try and pick up a big win here in order to turn their fate around.
Well, for NIP, you got to lock in right now. This is for all the marbles, at least here inside of the quarterfinals. You're not in for that bid just yet. It's the only team that remains is Lestream that currently has a bid, so anyone else that faces off against them can claim that. So whichever of the 2 teams up top on the bracket can possibly get that, unless Lestream obviously loses tomorrow to either one of these teams. But appears that the call from NIP is going to be going for the garage first, and Secretly is actually going to choose wrong, as an EMP is going to come out anyways, eliminate that battery, and Ninja's Pyjamas has aggression, 217.
Psycho with the start this time for NIP. They're going to hit the ground running right at the site this time around, avoiding all their lurk play. It starts out well, able to eliminate the bandit as he's caught trying to retreat. Well, of course, attempting to trick the garage doorway. It's been opened up. Able to throw in one more EMP grenade. And actually, Pino with a very nice nade. Lands one right on top of Red Groove, takes him out. And this is looking a lot better from NIP. They've grounded themselves. They're committing to a standardized push. And right now, this is working out great.
Pino, Kobe, both 4-letter names, as that frag grenade will confirm the kill behind White Band. Well, Chaos has rotated somebody upstairs into Piano to try and hold things down. It's going to be Renewals on the smoke. He does have those toxic babes still lying in wait in his pocket. They can possibly pull out at any time, try and deny as much time as possible off of this plan. But they have both panels 1 and 3 open. Left to right, 1, 2, 3. 1 and 3 are usually the choices, or you go for that middle panel by itself. Otherwise, you establish some really weird angles that the defense can use to their advantage. Vitalline trying to claim the life of the Thermite, but it's not going to happen. It's going to get aggressive on yellow, but he pays the price at the end. Coming down to a 5v2, Kamikaze gonna follow it up onto Krebs. It's all left up to the smoke upstairs. It's off-site, and you almost gotta feel bad for the guy. A random frag grenade not going to land, and Renewals trying to find any scraps he possibly can. Yeah, no, not at all. And to be completely honest, it was just how free the garage was, you know. And Ninjas and Pyjamas capitalizing early, but speaking of capitalization, a little bit of a odd thing there by Chaos in the last seconds is a little bit of Assassin's Creed, wrong game, but hey.
I mean, good, right publisher, right?
Just the right publisher.
Wrong genre.
Yeah, exactly.
But ultimately, obviously, the drop down does not pan out too well. Besides that final kill from the end, a perfect round from NIP after 2 relatively lackluster rounds at the start. The strategy to win is apparently keep it incredibly simple. Just go for that garage push. Like you said, it was left completely open for the taking. As a result of that, had a pretty easy win to get them onto the board now at 1-2. Still a lot of work to be done, to be sure. The overall play still has some issues, but good start, a simple play on the round. Unfortunately, this is probably going to send the players from Chaos directly towards another site.
It's kind of comical that the one default site that they go to for a lot of teams is the one they lose, when they went to the 2 off sites and won both of them. So we'll see if they go back to lobby.
They did.
And they did. They did go back to lobby. So they have a lot of faith in this lobby, and as well as split sites defenses for Chaos, and we'll see if they're able to end up winning this 4-2, or they're going to be able to finally find some success on one of the regular sites and end this 5-1. Other than that, NIP could possibly run it back right now. Again, we've seen some trends by both teams today throughout these previous 2 maps. So really, it is still anyone's game. You really don't feel safe unless you've won the map.
That's certainly been the case, especially with kind of drastic change-ups to playstyles we've had to see teams make. Some counterplay. It's been coming in all over the place from both teams today. NIP is the team right now that kind of has to figure it out. Chaos's overall strategy still tends to be working better. The last round, a bit of a fluke considering how easily NIP were able to get access to the garage. Don't imagine they'd be able to pull something like that up on the lobby. There's been plenty of surprises so far today. So if NIP can come up with a convincing win here yet again, they're going to be right back into it. It's going to boost their moods as well. Like I said before, things are looking a little bit sullen. We'll check them out before on cameras, but a convincing round win like that, they should be steadily improving their spirits.
NIP taking their time for sure, as they are just going through the motions, getting out the default cameras inside of garage, and anywhere else you can really claim those from outside. You can also get the one on the top spiral staircase from outside. You can literally walk up those bar windows from underneath, shoot that cam out, and now they don't have any vision in the center of the map, which is always nice when you can get those from outside. Don't have to risk your body. Makes it a lot easier instead of getting damaged while you're trying to take out info. First frag grenade going to come out from Pino, but it's not going to land onto anyone near Anti-Chamber.
Besides this, NIP again taking a very passive route to their opening start. Talk about how they needed to cool down their play, and this is a good start to the Promise Vitaline. Getting so many kills against window players so far. That has to be like their 3rd or 4th one he's gotten so far in the game.
Again, when you have that many bullets, why wouldn't you just pre-fire? And that seems to be his consensus. When he hears those repels, he's just going to throw as many bullets as possible. You really don't even have to be accurate. It's accuracy through volume. You don't even really have to try and aim. It's weird. You just throw your mouse and hopefully it hits something.
It helps the Alt is still a very accurate gun overall.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very easy to control the spray for it as well.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that gun in almost every single map this week, just with how powerful Maestro is currently in the current state of the game. Plenty of fire is going to be coming down as Capitão's actually going to end up killing himself and not accounting for how much damage those actually do. But we did see a pros don't fake earlier in the exact same context, sort of, kind of. Obviously, this one not having a diffuser, but NIP might have just literally set themselves on fire here.
It was a self-sacrifice. So we'll see if it ends up panning out for a win for them as Psycho picks up the next frag. Red Groove, though, great position to trade that right back out. Brings us into a 2v1. Could very easily turn into a 2v1 confirmed in a second here, as we still have one more player downed for NIP at the moment. Just a few moments away from being confirmed, but he's going to try his best to get him up. That's the bait, though. Renewals picks up both the final kills. Perfectly played. They had the info on it and everything. And Chaos is able to shut that down.
You got to give a little bit of a clap for that one right there. Just baited him out. The 200 IQ play. Oh, your friend's down there? You want to pick him up?
Go ahead.
Let's
start it.
Yeah, go ahead. Make my day, friend. So just ends up claiming that life from above. But very smart plays here by Chaos as they battle back with no man advantage. We're down 3-2 there, and we're able to find some sort of success. So last little bit there, Muzi tries to pick up Strand, but does not matter as Chaos was ready for that. Surely. Right now, for me, NIP needs to try and find an answer for Vitaline, man. I mean, the guy is able to just open up every single round and forcing NIP to battle back. The only round that NIP was in the driver's seat is the round that they won. Even then, on that last round where they got the picks that they really needed to try and force in the lobby, they lost a couple of men doing it. And eventually it ended up biting them in the end as they did lose vertical pressure. Red Groove was able to sit upstairs on that mute and do his due diligence to finally find them round number 3. So as we enter round number 5, 3-1 currently in favor of Chaos. And honestly, Ninjas and Pyjamas just needs to find their footing. I don't know if it's, you know, something they pulled away from themselves. Maybe they like Dokkaebi on console, but I really haven't seen them play Doke all weekend. So I don't really know what's happening inside of Ninjas and Pyjamas besides really, they're just coming out flat.
Yeah. It could be a loss of steam, too, after 2 very close maps and, you know, the number of clutches they've already had to pull out. Ultimately, in a best of 3, it's a long time. You know, these players are going to be sitting down and playing. Could be getting drained out, ultimately. But you would hope that NIP and Chaos, both being the experienced teams they are, wouldn't have to deal with that. But it still shows up every once in a while, unfortunately. And it very well could be a factor here for NIP. Oh, you hate to see that.
Or you love to see it if you're a Chaos fan. Crips is going to put Muzi down off the top of the dumpster angle outside. So that's a yikes, man. Let me tell you. All right, well, Renewals going to continue down the line of former Chaos member, or excuse me, the previous man playing Maestro, which was the likes of Vitaline. Now he's picked up the sister of Maestro, which is going to be the likes of Alibi. Dynamics Force Storm, so very dangerous with the amount of rate of fire it has, and always has that annoying utility, which in and of itself really isn't the best, but it really is a nuisance if used correctly.
Meanwhile, got Maestro still trying to play his advanced game, and I mean, why wouldn't he, given the amount of success that he's had so far? We've also got Ash coming in for Psycho, which is something we haven't had to see him resort to yet, as far as I'm aware. So it's a change up. Julio, a good angle to try to find a kill. Unfortunately, doesn't manage to confirm it. Vitaline still ends up with a little bit of HP to play off of here, and I think Julio missed the exchange going back to the inside. Actually, Vitaline's still stuck in the corner. There's a chance he could still get taken out here if he's not careful about his play. Oh, look at this Pino in the meanwhile, going to try to throw a nade up on top. Does it connect? No, unfortunately not.
It does. He downs Crips.
Does it really?
Yes, he actually downed Crips, and Crips ended up syringing himself back up. But Pino's going to get aggressive. He's going to take Vital off of Yellow. Did not waste too much time, but a smoke grenade going to come out. Almost claims Pino's life. So things now pretty equal between the two teams. And again, I'm very interested to see if Psycho can do the same thing he's been doing on Twitch with Ash. Now, Twitch, difference between these two at least is one, G36C is the only gun that has an ACOG on Ash. You still have the F2 with the ACOG. They're thinking about changing that, but has not been confirmed just yet. So G36C going to be used by Psycho here, as he does enjoy that ACOG sight, no R4C. So other differences, obviously, Ash a little bit faster. She's the three speediest of the three speeds. A smoke grenade is legitimately going to land in Psycho's lap. Going to have to rotate off and delaying as much time as possible is Chaos right now, and Julio dancing back and forth on the window rappel will eventually find Red Groove, and that might open up things here for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Still a very slow played out round here for NIP, as they are going to have to take the full breadth of the remaining 30 seconds more than likely in order to establish their execute into the upstairs sites. Julio with yet another pickup though, this time able to find out secretly. Renewals, this time on the Maestro, like we said before, it's been Vitaline in the past, is going to have to come up big. This new role that he's taken on, same for Crips. Both remaining defenders do have ACOGs to play off, so they should be able to take these duels. There's the start for Renewals. Gets one pickup, quickly wraps back around the plant, goes down. Crips is found on the inside of the bathroom, but an immediate trade comes back in, puts us into a 2v1. The plant gets onto the ground. Now Julio looks for the rat to try and complete it, but Renewals has got a red right now. He's going to be able to take him down. We're into the 1v1. This could be an amazing play for Renewals, but no, Kamikaze instead gets the better of him in the 1v1. NIP pick up another round.
Again, that is the danger of that Alda in that sense. Did not reload a single time, by the way. Not a single time. You don't even need it. There's 3 people alive. We'll do it in one clip. Don't worry about it. But at the end of the day, it is going to be the Twitch ends up winning it out for Ninjas in Pyjamas. And that's going to be Kamikaze. I actually almost ended up losing his life earlier on to the dock inside a bathroom, but just did not work out. Those last little ticks of damage that were needed at MP5 just could not find their mark.
Just a big, big boost coming in from NIP. They keep slowing the play down, and they've finally been able to capitalize on this, especially on that upstairs site. The question is, can the same playstyle be applied to the remainder of the map that we're going to see these guys play into? Thankfully, I believe we only got one more round left here on the first half. Yes, we do. I won't have to deal with that problem too much longer.
I love to see it. The 2 sites that were most played by Chaos are the 2 off sites. It's going to be Lobby and it's going to be Split.
It's going to split again.
They go to Split, and I mean, they won both times that they went to this. So maybe they're like, we should have went to console. We should have went to Split. Let's fix this. And we're not going to double down. We're going to go right back to what we know worked the first time. So first time around for Ninjas in Pyjamas attacking Split, they got control upstairs, but really couldn't do anything with it. Chaos smart enough to rotate Red Groove downstairs as the mirror to keep that Nitro Cell alive, and really when it came down to it, ended up with Ninjas in Pyjamas on a 1 versus 2, where Chaos just hid under a staircase like Harry Potter and ended up winning a round.
All right, so 3-2, a potential third 3-3, which would be all 3 maps being exactly even. Especially would be an especially good comeback for NIP after how things started and how dominant it seemed like Chaos is going to be able to be. You really got to give credit to the NIP guys for being able to recover. They're seemingly running out of steam at the beginning of this map. But now it's Chaos's turn as they go back to this strange offsite that they've been able to perform incredibly well on. the most part. Now have to try and close out on the 4th round to still give them the advantage to play off of at halftime. It's been incredibly difficult for any of our teams to establish a 4-2 lead, though. This might be asking too much. This might be the first time NIP can beat Chaos on this site.
Well, Chaos's trendsetters so far as they have shattered the mold of the previous sets by Nip. Lots of things that Nip had early on, you know, the early pressure as well as just early round counts in both maps. But somehow, some way, Chaos battled back on both ends. Were able to win out on Coastline, whereas Club didn't really work out for them. It really seemed like Coastline was their wake-up call. Like, okay, guys, we're on our map now. We know what we want to accomplish. We know the areas of the map that we want to control. Let's make this happen. Seems like that's more the same here on Consulate. Definitely winning out the ban phase in my eyes so far, but we're going to have to see how they do on the offensive side of the spectrum.
Julio, in the meanwhile there we can see he's trying to line himself up an angle from upstairs. Now that the guys from NIP are going to be able to get good amount of control. Now they go hunting for someone from Chaos to make a mistake, especially through these hatches. You can see how much emphasis is being put onto that. Pino, of course, still adding a little bit more of an angle for his team to play off of by doing all the reconstruction work upstairs. But no one from Chaos except for secretly revealing themselves too much just yet. That's a good start for Muzi. He's got a little bit more work to do, however. There's at least one other player across the way. It's Vitaline, and this time he's taken out without being able to put pressure onto it. That's the Maestro finally being taken out before he can make any impact against NIP.
Well, here's the thing. None of that really matters at the end of the day. Those 2 frags are big. It relieves gun pressure, obviously, from upstairs and that middle floor. But you still have to worry about the utility pressure that could possibly be applied. We have 2 Nitro cells on the field. Plant might be going down, but Krebs will claim his life. That means they know where the fuser is. Renewals will keep it running as they're going to equalize the playing field. Only 38 seconds left. Kamikaze's going to pick up the torch as they're going to rotate downstairs and try and get this plant off inside of Archives. Where are the 3 remaining members? Now 2 as Crips will fall. We're all looking for Red Groove and Renewals. I don't see a single outline of orange on my screen here. Where are these 2 hiding? We have 1 upstairs. I don't know where the other gentleman is actually. Red Groove will be off down over near the Archives staircase. Renewals knows where 1 is. It's a 2 versus 2. Red Groove trying to win this out. Julio trying to play it slow. 2 versus 1. Red Groove, bide your time, buddy. If you want to win this round, wait for those reinforcements. One of you stick the plant. One of you go for the frag. Doesn't seem like they want to adopt that just yet. They do have eyes on us. They will start to stick it. Tactical crossbow is going to be picked up. Is it going to be enough? It's actually not going to start damaging Red Groove. No. Is it going to be close? Oh, no, he's not going to win it out. And Julio for Nip, baby. They're going to tie it up. It's going to be 3-3 at the split on the split site. My God. Speaking of barn burners, man, Jesus.
If he shoots those bolts half a second later, even less than that, the round is lost, the defuse goes off. The bar was full as far as I could see. That had to be less than a second of time remaining on the defuse timer. So unfortunate for Chaos as they seem to have it on lock, but no Capital rules in this circumstance. How fitting it is as well. The Brazilian operator gets the job done in the clutch in the 1v2 situation. That's going to bring NIP back, tying us up into a 3v3.
If they would have called that information earlier instead of Locker's hallway, and he sticks that immediately, they win that.
Yep.
That's the time difference. That is why I love Rainbow Six Siege, man. It comes down to inches every single time. So as we're going to flip the script here, Chaos is going to go on offense as they have for all of their maps today on the latter half of the map. So see what Nip's general idea is for Consulate, as they are going to be going down to basement first. Things feel right as rain now with these guys on defense.
Well, it's a 3-3 once again here as we've tied us up. That's 3 maps in a row. We've ended up tied at halftime. Neither Chaos nor NIP seem to be able to escape their opponent's grasp as they continue to fight. Both of them at each other's necks right now, looking to try and close out. But only one team can go forward into the semifinals to face off against Lestream, and it's got to be one of these 2. First to 7 will close it out, or first to 8 if they tie at 6 first.
All right. Well, so far today, Ninjas in Pyjamas. Decent on their defensive side. They really didn't have an answer for Chaos on Coastline, but again, that's not really their pick. So you expect each team to win their pick. It always is supposed to come down to this last map. So as of right now, between the 2 teams, they're pretty equal on their defensive counts. Chaos most strung together were 2, whereas Nip ended up picking up 4 on their defensive halves, where they only strung together 2 as well. Chaos having 3 defensive rounds on both Club and Coast, whereas Nip ended up having 4 on Club, which, again, their map choice, but it does stand to reason that Consulate could be another one of their maps where they're just so damn good on defense.
Let's see if that's going to be the case. Chaos, of course, already looking to throw pressure.
Oh.
What's up?
Well, you don't regularly see a mirror there on the front of Garage, and that's for a reason, traditionally speaking, is Twitch or anybody from above is able to pop that, and they automatically get a free hole to where Bandit can't come up and try and claim anything. And speaking of claiming, Renewals is going to claim Muzi's life, and that's going to be upstairs in bathroom, as he does not recognize out somebody sitting on connector window. Pino still holding on to some space upstairs as he thinks he's going to rotate back down, but no, he's going to try and stick it out up top. Oh no, those shots landing dangerously close, but that second wall is not something that you can shoot through, so that's the only thing keeping Pino alive over there on admin stairs. Those 2 marble walls, actually, holding up against those bullets.
So Crips, of course, bringing the Ash into play. They're choosing instead to go with the R4C, comparatively what we saw from NIP on the other side of the play, which is with the G36C in order to get the extra ACOG sight, now that it was removed from the R4C. So just a little bit of a different play style here. Very patient once again from Chaos as they have no problem running down the clock. We're going to see both of the charges used by Thermite here to open panels 1 and 3. Should get rid of the window in the process, so it's going to open up that middle panel slightly as well. Now the hunt begins for Chaos players to try and knock out the remaining NIP defender from the inside of the site.
Well, it appears that slow and steady wins the race has been the tune for Chaos all day, as they are going to be joining out but behind White Van. Everyone hunkered down inside of Kitchen except for Psycho, who's all the way upstairs, as well as Pino. So you have 2 members of NIP currently on site as Chaos feels right at home, but do they know there's 2 strangers lying in wait? Secretly identifies one as Jaeger will rotate up main, but he's going to get... Actually, no, it's going to be Psycho losing his life upstairs and then secretly able to find Pino. Excuse my French there, ladies and gents, but here's that Chaos is in the driver's seat as the diffuser will go down. And this is going to be a pretty hard one. You're going to have to see NIP try and throw things at the wall in order to get this down, but this should be Chaos all the way right here on this post-plant situation. Kamikaze going to start things off as secretly will go down.
Julio also in position here, but the problem is Chaos have already rotated far away from this. It's heads up play. They don't have to worry about players behind the trucks. They don't really have the guns to play into this. They're going to use the smoke as an actual smoke. Unfortunately, it doesn't play out that well. Crips will catch it on the yellow stairs relatively quickly. Julio's rotated himself back up top. He's going to try to play into this now, but again, time's just not playing into his factor. He'll pick up the first kill. He doesn't even have time to get back to the diffuser now, let alone defuse it itself. So this round, after Renewals gets the last pickup, is going to go over to the players from Chaos as they push ahead 4-3 at the start of the second half.
Chaos is just so much more calculated on offense now, and I think that's something that we didn't see from them yesterday, where their offense just came out flat and never really did anything. They were just losing round after round on their offensive sets. But today they've done a little bit better. Firstly, on Club, they did only pick up 2, but they were trying to battle back from a little bit of a deficit early on. They ended up tying up 4-4 with NIP in that instance, but then NIP went on a little bit wrong, got to match point, and then really you only have 1 chance for a mistake. And if that does end up happening, then you're going to end up losing that map. And this is exactly what happened. But when it came to Coastline, Chaos, 4 rounds on offense. Are they going to be able to run the table here, find those 4 rounds that are needed to win Consulate, and propel themselves into Championship Sunday?
Let's see if it's going to be the case. Once again, it's up to NIP to make the change up, as it's often been the case ever really since we got into map number 2. The only difference in this was on Clubhouse, where Chaos had to try and change them up. NIP looked very confident, very composed on that map, and we've slowly seen them kind of fall apart from that, turning into very sloppy play and just not able to counter out even direct pushes from Chaos into things like Garage there. So Chaos comes out on top of the first defensive round from NIP. NIP choose to stay away from attempting the basement site once again. They'll head upstairs to the console office to attempt this instead, harping on the basement.
And the usual here for NIP, as they will be going to the 2 most played sites on this map. It's going to be console office and the basement, which is going to be garage and kitchen. So other than that, their setups more traditional often than not. The basement went a little bit weird with that Mira, but the Mira literally didn't do anything at all. It eventually got blown up. Nobody really played it. They didn't even pop it to try and get a kill, which is usually what you see when they try and place a Mira on the garage. So that was a little bit weird. But besides that fact, They have went more or less back to as you do ways here on the top floor. Even all the way down to having Kamikaze play at the back of Projector with a shield and more than likely some ADSs with Pina. Able to keep him alive as they might try and get that wall open. It sits behind in the flag hallway, but they do not have a Habana. So you're probably not going to see that because Vitaline will have to dedicate his life to more than likely get that wall open. They're definitely not going to do that. But what will happen is Kamikaze and Psycho find some kills for the boys in Pyjamas. This Chaos not coming out too hot here on round number 8.
Some stand-up play to be sure. Now it's time for NIP to capitalize on it. Chaos, of course, is going to be looking incredibly weak. They still have the ops they need to execute. That's the thing. They're missing Buck, which can just basically set up a little bit of extra room for them to play on self-destruction, along with Ash, which is basically kind of the same thing. Obviously, to a much lesser extent. You're just missing your frag potential more than anything. So you still have Hard Breach. You still have your Clear, although both of the asphyxiation bolts have been used at this point. You still have the micro smokes to come from that. And then off of that, you still have your Thatcher, which can be used to deal with gadgets. This is not over yet for Chaos. It's just going to be very, very difficult, unfortunately.
Well, they are going to identify out that Kamikaze is playing inside of yellow once again with those toxic babes. No more asphyxiating bolts at the hands of Renewals, but Pino actually going to be able to find a kill on a Vital Line. Don't exactly know where it is. I thought I saw the skull on yellow stairs. Yes, actually it's going to be the basis of yellow stairs where that kill will come through, and I'm going to assume that he killed him from either bottom of yellow. No, that's going to be the Legion who will claim Red Groove. It's going to be Psycho as Renewals is all up on his lonesome in a 1 versus 5. Pino gonna find yet another. And NIP battle back once again. Tied up 4-4 here on console.
See there, just real quickly, the leadership from NIP quickly trying to address things, though, as they jump directly back into it. And making sure they're still focused and ready for the task ahead of them. Because this is not over yet. Chaos have been rebounding time and time again when it seems like NIP has the match within their grasp. This is still only a tied map right now at 4-4. Winner needs to get to 7. With the way these maps have been playing out, that is not going to be easy. Overtime is the much more likely conclusion of this with the way that these rounds are going.
All right, this is going to be the true test.
Oh, they're doing split too.
Oh, going to split once again instead of going to lobby. Again, that's been something that defenses have been using, well, in recent history to try and throw people off. Actually, more often than not, they try and do that just so that the wrong ops are selected for Chaos. But Chaos is going to bring more or less exactly what they need. You really don't need the Thatcher here or the Thermite, but the Buck is exactly what you need to try and take over this site. Try and get that top presence, as well as the Capitao, where you can lock down the staircases or rotate. Even firing those things downstairs through those holes, if they let them make it the floors, you guys will see, and it will more than likely do, because if you don't, it's not good. They do have Kamikaze, so they could just try and play the pulse downstairs and not try and make any holes, but with a traditional sense, that is usually what is done by the defense on this split site. But looks like they are going to try and make Chaos fight for every single square inch of this basement, as they are going to reinforce garage, and adding insult to injury, mutes are going to be placed on it. So Vital Line and Red Groove definitely going to be needed if they want to try and take down basement.
So we shall see if NIP can keep this going. It's been a seesaw yet again on this map, at least since we've started out the second half. It's time for Chaos to take the lead, otherwise it's going to be NIP shooting ahead for the first time on this map, giving them a lead to play off of. Bit of an unfamiliar situation for them since it's been some time. It's been halfway through the second map was the last time we had them in this type of position. It's up to them. Heads up play. They've gone for the unorthodox site. Both teams seemingly comfortable playing into this. NIP are going to look for a closeout on the split.
Not an awful rotate that you see opened up upstairs in admin. As a quick shot comes out from Pino from the SMG-11, but it's not going to make its mark. Speaking of marks, though, Renewals will find the opening frag here for Chaos as they're trying to find some footing downstairs on the basement. NIP falling apart pretty early on as Julio will catch a bullet.
Obviously, both the barrier windows are down, so you still get the general utility from Julio, but that's a loss of a nitro cell, along with, of course, another player that's going out of the fray and is going to be unavailable for the rest of the round. Not the start that NIP were hoping for. I mean, if the past rounds are any indication, this could be the start of a snowball, as long as Chaos doesn't trip up on the execute.
Last time things were tied up 4-4 and this close, Nip was the one who went on a run. But prior to that, we did have Nip go up on coastline 3-2-1, where Chaos was able to string together 5 rounds. So never count out either of these boys, as they both have been quite fierce against their competition. And again, we are on the final map here. You guys are just joining us. It's Ninjas in Pyjamas in Chaos. Ninjas in Pyjamas taking Clubhouse. Chaos taking Coastline. And speaking of taking Vital Line, Kamikaze with the refrag here as Red Groove continues on this trend of orange and blue back and forth. And Muzi will continue to extend such words. Chaos, though, going to come out on the top of the pile here as they are going to have man advantage. Muzi trying to gain some ground upstairs as he will still hold on to the admin office, but it's going to be Psycho on admin, all on his lonesome, as the plant will start to go down. It's going to be Vitaline. I believe he's planning inside of Tellers. No, actually, he's planning downstairs. So, over in the corner, which now they've planted in twice. Or excuse me, Ninjas in Pyjamas planted in the last time, and Chaos is going to follow suit.
So it's going to be slow from this point forward here. NIP, of course, looking to still establish good positions. Nice run around to find renewals. 2 more to kick up, though. They've already used almost half the time. Down the blue hall, they're not really going to be given much of an angle to play off anymore, so now they have to push directly into the archives itself. That's not an easy push to make. A lot of open territory, almost no coverage to work with. Muzi tries to make the run of his own, nearly loses his life in the process, and now it's going to be reduced down into the 1v2. They're not even playing into the fight anymore. They're going to sit back. They're not going to let the timer run out. Muzi's got to make this push on his own, and down he goes to Red Groove. Another round for Chaos. The seesaw continues.
Yeah, this defensive side from Nip continues to go back and forth. Chaos starting off, finding that first round on basement. Console office for Nip, and then the split will go Chaos's way. And really, they were just able to get those initial picks on a Nip, starting with Julio, that really just transpired as they just played the trade game. Down and down it went until finally Chaos coming on top 3-2. Planning downstairs, which I don't even believe Nip knew that they had control of. They had Alibi standing on the administration stairs, but I don't believe that he was able to recognize out that a couple of those Chaos players slipped through his grasp.
All right, so just reminding you guys one more time as well that we've got our semifinals starting tomorrow. Be sure to tune in when we do start the stream. It's going to be an hour later than we started it today, so that'll be 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. For our friends over in Europe, that's going to be around 9 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock for our friends in the UK.
Well, all those international flights really making that time difference.
Oh, I've been able to do that for years. That's the first thing I got really good at.
And then it was caffeine, right?
Yeah. That came later. First was time zone. That's the important stuff.
It's always time zones first, then the caffeine comes.
Math's more important,
Exactly. So, Chaos only 2 rounds away from victory here and closing out the series 2-1. Again, Ninjas in Pyjamas have been battling back all day, and their defensive side, again, have looked pretty good. So I don't expect anything less from them, especially coming back down to basement. Last time they came to basement, Chaos ended up winning it. The only map, or the only site that Nip has won so far has been console office. That's the upstairs site. So we'll see if they're able to finally find another site they can possibly claim victory on, or will Chaos move into match point. Ninjas in Pyjamas needs to find an answer for Chaos's offense. Their offense has been pretty well calculated. That last time things get a little bit more aggressive than we've seen them in the past, and Ninjas in Pyjamas just not coming out on the top of that pile once again is really what punished them. They've been trying to play this delayed game where they've just been inching back map control and slowly giving it to Chaos. Just, ooh, piece of candy, trying to distract them from that timer. And it's worked out a couple of times. That last time, though, definitely not.
Chaos taking their time with things, giving a little bit more room for NIP to set up. You can see specifically Julio going for control setups and whatnot. Meanwhile, still trying to hold from within inside the bathroom. We haven't seen much of a push yet from Chaos. It's actually been a relatively quiet round for the most part so far. Their team really able to build up to too much, but you can see Chaos at quite a few different angles. You've got Crypts upstairs trying to push himself inside a projector. And then a few other players looking at things like Yellow Stairs to commit their push to the inside as well. Secretly, they'll move in first through the upstairs part of the map. No resistance will be there from NIP. They don't have to worry too much about roaming presence, but it's as they work their way down to the main floor, specifically inside of this bathroom, of course, where the troubles are going to start to show. They've got about 40 seconds to clear this out before they really have to start worrying about timer.
Psycho literally playing with fire inside of bathroom on the middle floor, as he is going to be practically on his own island here trying to live the life, but I don't think he's going to be living too much longer, as that seems to be the play by Chaos, is trying to get rid of him. But Obviously, we all know that a nitro cell is not what Jaeger has, so I'm getting my silhouettes wrong, as actually Psycho will claim a life. It's going to be secretly, as Alibi is trying to work his way up the bottom spiral stairs. Muzi, don't do it. Don't walk into the angle. Okay, you can walk into it now. You can do that. It's safe. It's safe. Oh, I find another one as Renewals will go down with a refrag. Come out, though. There's a peek back into the angle, but then M249, so much ammo. He can just continue to fire down. Muzi stuck between a rock and a hard place now. He has to pick his gunfight and win it in order to stay alive. Is actually, he goes for just a sprint to the door, doesn't try and shoot it open, rips it down, as he will make it back to site safely. So 37 seconds is Ninjas and Pyjamas, just like I talked about before the round really shot off. Giving Chaos little bits of map at certain times, just delaying them as much as possible. Crips is going to try and battle his way up to the hallway, but Psycho will claim his life. It's all left up to the final three on Chaos, Red Group, Vital Line, and Renewals. Renewals still upstairs in this 14-second round here. Is Kamikaze going to continue the trend? It's all up to Renewals. He's coming down back spiral, and Muzi with the kill. NIP tie it up once again.
Kamikaze with the quick flips there, picking up some M590 frags towards the end, but definitely another solid hold coming out from NIP. And it just seems like these two rounds are coming in one of two directions right now. Their Chaos is slowly but surely able to chip away the members of NIP and eventually take a site through that method, or we end up with NIP just having an iron grasp on the site and Chaos failing to start throughout the majority of the round. Only one player falling that time. It's the Roamer on Legion that ends up getting knocked out. So one other much more convincing win from NIP to tie us up again, but no real advantage. So we'll have to assume that Chaos might take the next round, which still will put NIP into the hot seat of needing to pick up the next round after that.
Well, the teeter-totter has been confirmed as we went back and forth for the last 4 rounds here. After NIP was able to tie it up 3-3 on their offensive half, their defensives have been quite peculiar. Again, I really like how they do an extended hold throughout the map. They place bodies in certain areas that they know Chaos is going to want control of, and then they make ways for their members to get out of that situation. Oh, you want bathroom? Okay, waste some of your utility. Maybe we'll get a kill off of that and that. Okay, we got our kill. Okay, cool. Let's rotate that guy back. We'll give you that map presence now, but not without a little bit of a fight, possibly a life, and some of your utility.
All right, guys, well, here we go. Setup phase going to be concluding in just a moment here. Players on NIP as they look to finally pick up some consistency. For Chaos, of course, their setup is going to remain relatively similar to what we've seen in the past. The Thatcher, of course, still going to be in play as it would be needed in order to access the upstairs sites. Moving through yellow stairs is where he's going to find the most use. Potentially a push in through admin as well, depending on the route. The Chaos want to take this. They've been a very slow-broiling team. The same can be said for NIP on their own attack. So it is going to take us some time for Chaos to get into a position to go for that execute. They'll start looking around. A lot of repelling action to be seen here in the first minute or so, along with a good amount of droning, as you generally expect on this site.
Well, will Chaos be able to take the lead once again? This is going to be the 3rd time this game that they've taken a lead after Neb has tied it up. So, will this trend continue here for Chaos? As seems to be that their focus is going to be on yellow stairs. Once again, there is traditionally 2 ways that you take this. You're going to see a grenade twist inside of the sink, and he's actually going to do the exact same thing. It's going to fall in the exact same sink as well, and it's actually going to do a ton of damage to Kamikaze. And I'm actually going to assume this. Kamikaze didn't know that the grenade was there since it was in the sink.
Yeah.
You're not going to get that hit detector because it blocks the radius of the grenade. So it's actually kind of a weird thing that just happened right there, but nonetheless, secretly finally finding Kamikaze. The docks, or the stim pistols of Julio, gonna go to a waste.
Finally gonna get just desserts right there for being able to escape.
What?
The 2 hoop shots into the sink with the grenades. And in the meanwhile,
Psycho just chucked a goo mine at the man on window, and it didn't even hit the window. He's like, get off my lawn, son. Like,
yeah. Trying to get him out of there. So, we'll end up in a 5v4. Still advantage to Chaos, but only 1 kill. So still plenty of opportunities for this to be reversed, especially with the roaming presence slowly starting to work its way back into the game for NIP. You've got Pino and Psycho.
What?
I don't really know what happened there, to be honest with you.
Rainbow? I don't know. Anyways, despite that fact, secretly he's going to claim yet another life, as it will be Muzi to fall. But Crips will be the first one to fall on Chaos's side of the spectrum. They do recognize out that Psycho is still on yellow. He does still have 1 ADS. When the ADS light goes out, that means that ADS is burnt. Every single one of them can claim up to 2 throwables. And speaking of claiming things, Secret will find Psycho. He's going to go down in the bathroom. He's literally turning the bathroom into a morgue, and Vitaline going to add on to it. It's all left up to Pino, and it's going to be a 1 versus 4. We haven't seen one yet today. Will Pino be the first?
It's been pretty much out of the round as he's been defending admin, I believe, for the majority of this play so far. They haven't actually moved in to take control of the plant just yet, but that's happening right now. Vitaline putting it onto the ground. Pino going to try to move in and stop it. A nice little hop out catches him the kill on Red Groove by the roof, but the plant will go down. You stole a player on Repel, and he's got sight into the long desk call right there. He's going to be able to finish things off. Takes out Pino. It's another kill, another round for Chaos as they strike right back, pushing them up to map point first.
You know who has 1 window and 4 kills? That Buck, I can tell you that much. Well, Chaos continuing to show why they allowed this map into the pool, as they will be the first one to hit match map everything point here in Las Vegas between these two teams.
So let's talk about the coach as well that we're seeing from NIP as well. He's
very stressed.
Yeah, very stressed about the current situation. You can see, especially in the motion coming out from him every single round. It's a little bit different, I think, from what you get from, Sensi. You compare it to him back on Liquid as well. A lot more calm, a lot more composed. Whereas you can almost call him like a hype man to a certain extent.
Absolutely. I mean, this man's so hype. He's drinking water on the sidelines. Like, oh, guys, I need a break. Hold on. Give me just a second. But I think the thing right now, just to add to that, is this is something that can help you out in good moments when the team's performing well. Yeah. But if you're performing bad, I see this also having a negative effect on the players here at LAN. But NIP, nonetheless, have been performing fantastically. I mean, the coach has to be happy with how they perform. They really haven't let any map go without a fight. I mean, even the lowest scoring map of the day, which was Coastline, KS ended up winning it 7-4. So you still got 4 rounds. It wasn't an absolute blowout. It was still pretty close. Almost went to overtime, just off by 2 rounds.
And I mentioned this a few times too. Here's the thing for NIP as well. You've got to give props to both these teams at this point. This has been such a long series. Every single map going to regulation or overtime at a minimum. Pretty much every single round going to 30 seconds or less as well. We haven't really had any super fast-paced play, and when we have had it, it's been few and far between. It's been 1 or 2 exceptional rounds in an entire map. So they've really had to grind through this, and things like your aim and whatnot start to fall off after those few hours. These players really have to steer themselves, and I think part of how well they're able to keep themselves in the game does fall to a coach, and a coach like that trying to amp you up, keep you focused on the gameplay. Let's get back into it, though. We're into the next round.
Chaos trying to find answers here from Ninjas in Pyjamas as the drone play will come out. Very large roam game here, but that's going to be expected on this map. Dedicated downstairs to that archive setup. 2 people upstairs to try and hold on tellers. It's the exact same setup that we saw previously that Chaos ended up winning. That 2 versus 1 that transpired, and Ninjas in Pyjamas was not able to walk away with it. So we'll see if it's different this time around. But Chaos should have a general idea of what Ninjas in Pyjamas are going to attempt to do here. They know that 2 people are going to be dedicated downstairs. They recognize out that the alibi is still going to be in play, so they know more likely where those are going to be. It seemed that she did dedicate them upstairs, and there might still be one downstairs in the lobby area as well as she had last time. But Renewals is going to start things off for Chaos. Alibi's getting super aggressive right now. What else would you expect from Psycho? I mean, he's known for that in LATAM. The man has the most kills out of any player inside of Season 9. 166 frags over the span of the season. So, definitely no stranger to a firefight, but he needs to try and battle back right now, but they need to do it intelligently. Otherwise, they're going to end up faltering here. And Red Group with a pre-fire going to take the bait, as you said. And actually, secretly going to be creeping up the hallway of Towers, finds Julio, and things just starting to transpire here for Chaos.
Yeah, the good news is there's actually not a whole lot of presence established by NAP on admin windows, so they're not going to come out of that. But Muzi and Psycho both able to trade these kills back. Chaos seemed like they were taking quick control this round. They still could do it secretly with yet another pickup. Isolates out the garage, gives them back control of the diffuser, which had been dropped. Most importantly, Crips with another snipe through the hatch, knocking out Psycho as well. And now Chaos had the massive advantage. It's all on Kamikaze, and it could all be shut down right here. He's going to have to try and find some way to hold this. He does have that extra intel. Drops the diffuser, but it doesn't matter. Didn't expect the second player. Renewal shuts it down for Chaos. Chaos, and they will come out on top. A 2-1 victory for the Swedish roster, knocking out one of our Brazilian teams and sending yet another European team through to the semi-final.
It's the stream. It's Chaos tomorrow in the semi-finals, as Chaos will remove NIP from the tournament. So 3 LATAM teams come in, 1 makes it out of our quarters. So biggest thing that I've realized today is that I am an absolute curse. So any team that I pick, they will lose. So I need to start picking the team that I want to lose, and then I will win.
Gonna use your powers for good there. So
yes.
Don't want to be throwing that out there too poorly or anything like that. But it's definitely a titan of a series there for both of our teams. Big congratulations to both of them for the performance they put. I mean, look at how close every single map was. We went to full regulation time on 2 different maps and 11 out of 12 rounds on the second map. It could not have been closer, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that would have made it better would have been a few overtimes, which we almost had those happen on quite a few occasions too. It seemed though that unfortunately NIP just running out of steam a little bit too much as we approach the third map, Chaos. And meanwhile, Stage